Hi guys, it's Allison here, and today I want to talk to you guys about the power of making a decision and how it can really create huge shifts and huge impact and huge results in your life. I think the biggest reason why a lot of people don't get results is because they haven't truly made the decision. If you watched my video for yesterday, I talked about, three things that you need to really see a shift or change in your weight loss or in your fitness journey or even just in your life, any type of change that you're looking to see. And the number one thing that I said was that people don't truly make a decision. They think about it, they talk about it, they talk about it because it sounds awesome. Like, I'm going to run this marathon, or I'm going to give up, cookies, or whatever it is. And they talk a big game. But the reality is they haven't truly made a decision to do it. And I think that's the difference between, successful people and those that are kind of struggling, or those who, like me, when I was on my journey on that yo-yo diet or yo-yo weight loss, is that I would talk about all these things I would do, but I wouldn't really decide that I was going to do it. And what I want to do is just share with you guys a little bit today about the decision. And what I want to do first is just read off the definition of decide, because I think it's a really good, I think I'll put some things in perspective with you. So I'm going to look at my computer below, so just bear with me with that. Okay, so when it comes to decide, here's some definitions for you guys. First one, come to a resolution in the mind as a result of consideration. The second one is make a choice from a number of alternatives. I'm going to stick with that. That's kind of like my favorite one, actually. So you make a choice from a number of alternatives. So when you're thinking about weight loss, when you're thinking about reaching a goal or whatever it is, okay, and you get to that point, you have a lot of different alternatives. You have a lot of different options, right, of what you could do in that matter. So let's just stick with weight loss. So if you're saying, I want to lose weight, I'm making the decision to lose weight. I'm deciding that I'm going to lose weight. There's a lot of different alternatives. And what I like to say too is there are a lot of excuses that come around that as well that will creep in. You don't have time. You don't have a gym membership. You don't have a trainer. You don't have the proper equipment. You don't, whatever is going on in your life. You have all these different things going on. But when you make a decision, I think three things that happen when you just make a true decision, and that's when you choose to do something among all other alternatives, and you basically kill off all excuses, right? So what I want to do is just kind of share with you guys a little bit about a decision. The first thing that a decision creates is commitment. Okay, it kind of gives you this no matter what mentality, this no matter what attitude around it. So when you truly make a decision that you're going to lose weight and get healthy or change your diet or whatever, you are now at this point where you're like, okay, this is a commitment that I'm making to myself. And I think, in life, we make commitments to everyone. We make promises, we make commitments to our boss, to our spouses, to our kids, to strangers. But when it comes to making a commitment to ourselves, we typically will let it slide, and I always find that so interesting how we'll make these, we'll bend over backwards to make all these other people happy and do all of these things. But when it comes down to us and our goals and our health and our wellness and our self-care, we just put it on the back burner. And, that's something that we have to get out of the habit of doing. If we are stellar at making commitments to other people, we have to get better at making commitments to ourselves. And when you make the decision to actually do it, that's something that increases. You actually create this fire around making and honoring commitments to yourself. And, within that, you just start to figure out how to make it work. And for some of you guys, it's going to mean cutting back on certain, watching TV or going out, drinking with friends or, whatever. You're going to have to make some sacrifices to that commitment. So I think that's one thing that I really noticed about when I made a decision, that I just kind of figure it out. How can I make this happen? Because I've made this commitment. I want to honor it to myself. And it's the same thing if you make a commitment to your boss about being at a meeting at 7 a.m. when you know that you have to take your kids to school, you have to prepare their lunches, or you have a big commute. You figure it out, right? you're there at 7 a.m. for that meeting. You cancel things. Like I've had clients who've canceled our training sessions because they have a client meeting or, a conference call with their boss. They figured it out and they were there at that meeting. And, it's kind of like, like what about the commitment to yourself? But, that's just something to figure it out. And so that's what happens when you make a decision. The second thing that happens is you start to really create consistency in what you're doing, because now you're understanding that if you're going to honor this commitment to yourself, you have to honor your habits, and you have to create habits that are going to keep you on that goal and on that focus and on that path. So, what I like to, for me, a perfect example, when I, this month, I'm really focused on working out at home, doing the 21-day fix extreme, because I'm going to be traveling for the next few weeks and, I don't have access to a gym. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to do a program that I know works. So I made the decision to do the 21-day fix. It's 30 or extreme. There's 30 minutes a day. Just make it happen, right? So I've carved out time in my calendar. So that was my commitment. I know exactly from, 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock, that's when I do my workout and my stretch and my shower every single day. That's what I'm doing for the month of April. And nothing can really go into that time. If something does happen, then I move it around. The second thing is that whole consistency thing. I want to make a habit out of it because I've already made the commitment. So I have to create habits and I have to do the things that are going to allow me to continue that process. And I find like even with that, I start to compete with myself. Like, okay, I got Monday down. I got Tuesday down. One of my clients, she is doing a program and she was really frustrated because in the past, she's like, I can never get through like day 4. I can never like push through. And I said, okay, why don't we just focus on taking it one day at a time? Every day that you wake up, just like focus on that day. Don't worry about if you're going to work out tomorrow or work out on Friday. Focus on what you can do today. And I think that really helps as well. I think that really helps people to really figure out how to just make it work and make a habit out of it. So you have your commitment when you make a decision, and you have consistency because you're making a habit and you're honoring your commitments. And the last thing that happens, this doesn't happen right away, but as you stick with your commitments and as you stick with the consistency, you start to develop confidence. You start to realize that every single day you're kind of like taking one step. It doesn't have to be a big step. It's one small step that you're taking. I find that we don't celebrate ourselves and our victories enough. I think that we get into this habit of if it's not a big celebration or a big victory or a big accomplishment, then we don't feel the need to celebrate it. And I'm really hard on myself with that. Like I get to the point where I'm like, if it's not something big, I just don't celebrate. I mean, I remember, this is really weird, but like being in college and like not wanting to go to my college graduation because in my mind I was like, well, like I enrolled in college to complete college, and I didn't realize like how big of a milestone that really is in my life. And it was a big moment for me to realize like we have to take the time to celebrate any victory, any progress, because there are people out there who, couldn't finish college for whatever reason, or because of, it was just difficult, or a family situation, or a sickness, or an illness, or whatever. And, I think about my family and how they poured into me and helped me, and my mentors and my friends and my instructors and all these things. And that was a moment to celebrate not just myself, but celebrate everyone else who's poured into me. And it's the same thing with your weight loss, whether it's you completed like my client Monique, the fact that she completed 5 days of workouts, like that's something to celebrate. That's something to be excited about. And that builds confidence. It builds confidence that you can do this, that it is possible to see results. And if we stick with that and we stick with just kind of doing it day by day, honoring our commitments, staying consistent, and building that confidence, I guarantee by the end of that week, the end of that month, the end of that quarter, the end of that year, you will see the benefit. You will see the fruits of your labor from you simply making the decision to change your life. So hopefully this gave you a little bit more of an insight about why making a decision is so important, and why you should really focus on thinking really hard about it before you even make a decision. Like really think about it. Think about the sacrifices that are going to come up. Think about what you're going to have to do. Think about what rewards you're going to have in place when you do get that victory or when you do hit that milestone. Really take the time to be really serious about the decision, because if you truly do make a decision where you look at all the alternatives, you look at all of your excuses, and even in the midst of all the things going on in your life, you still make the decision to want to change your life, to get healthy, to get fit, to change, your relationships with food, to get off that yo-yo diet, to drink more water, to train for that marathon, to whatever it is, just know that by making a true decision, you're saying to yourself that you're making a commitment and that you're going to be consistent to honor that commitment. And through that, you're going to build confidence in your ability to be successful. And that's really what a decision can do for you. So hopefully this was helpful for you. I would love if you would comment below and let me know what decision that you are going to make. And once you comment below, I'm going to be messaging you and I'm going to talk to you and kind of dig a little bit deeper into that decision to try to help you to stay consistent, committed, and confident with getting your results and making it happen. Feel free to share this with anyone. Tag anyone you think would be blessed or be will take this video and this information and really put it to use. But if you have any other questions, you know what to do. Comment below. But thank you so much for watching and have a great day. All right, bye guys.